The earliest one is this one here. This is my great-grandparents. My great-grandmother was Cherokee Indian, was actually born on the reservation in Oklahoma. This one here is a picture of my parents. My dad's from Texas. My mom was from New York. They met on a train coming from San Francisco. This is my family. This is my husband, myself, and my 3 children. This was taken about a year prior to my husband's death. This is a picture of my daughter. This was her senior picture. This is my son that lives in El Cajon. And this is my son and his wife that lives in Florida. They're twins. That is me and my husband on my wedding day. That's him and I. Their father died when my sons were just 14 and my daughter was 16. So getting them through their teenage years and getting them into an occupation where they can support themselves well, I think I did well. This is one of my favorite things in my house. My mom and dad made this quilt. It's called the signature quilt, and inside each square it has signatures of everyone in the family. Then it has our spouses on there, which includes my husband, and then it has our children signed below us. But I treasure it because this was made approximately 6 months before my husband passed away, and it has his signature on there. I moved to Poway in 1969. My father was in the military service. He retired here. I married, and we remained here in Poway. Poway was a real small community then. It had 2 traffic lights. The area that we now live in was the barn for the dairy that was here in Poway. And across the street where the Craig and Auto and the car wash is now, that was the stables. You could go rent a horse and ride all over Poway. I moved into affordable housing because my husband was disabled. And I wasn't working because of his disability and because we had the 3 children. I leave my home very early in the morning. I leave at 6:30 in the morning. I usually don't return until 7:30 at night. So it doesn't give me much time during the week. And on the weekends, I try to catch up with my family. Even though at one point I was making some pretty good money, unfortunately I was laid off, and all of a sudden you have no income. And with projects like this, where they offer the affordable housing, and your income changes so drastically, I was still able to keep a roof over my head. There are people out there that even though they're working, they may not be able to make the income that it requires to live in Southern California. I, for one, I consider myself one of the working poor. If you know my income, if it wasn't for this project, I can't afford to live here. I'd probably have to go move in with a family member because I couldn't afford housing otherwise, even though I'm working 2 jobs. And just because we're low income, it doesn't have to look like we're low income. They can be just as neighborly as any other apartment complex, no matter what you pay for your rents. I've lived here 23 years, never had any problems with anybody breaking in, and I'll go back and do laundry and do whatever, and I don't lock my door. I leave my door open and only the screen door shut. Nobody's ever bothered anything.